Alright, peace, Lisa. That's a cool name, Lisa. Like, from The Simpsons. Lisa Mason. Okay, that's an interesting name. That's an interesting name. So, are you a Mason? The question of the day is Lisa a Mason? But anyways, welcome. This is going to be your mini reading in which I'll be doing for you. First things first, right? I want to talk about is the fact that you have your sun and your moon as sextiling each other, right? A sextile is when two planets are in elements that can combine to produce opportunities for expansion, you know what I'm saying, or just opportunities in general. So sextiles happen between fire signs and air signs, and also water signs and earth signs, right? When you think of earth and water, when they combine, they create like this moldable substance, right, that you can create more things with. But ultimately, that's what a sextile is. It's the aspect of opportunities. It helps you, in a sense, see things from two different perspectives that are harmonious, right? Yeah, that are harmonious, though. So you have your moon and your sun sextiling each other. So your sun, it deals with how you express yourself out into the world, right? This is the energy that people pick up on, when they start to engage and interact with you. This is the energy of your ego. The sun ultimately deals with the things you identify with, the way that you channel your will, before I'm saying all those good stuff. And so you have your sun in Virgo in the third house. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check to make sure I'm correct. Yes, you have your sun in Virgo in the third house. So first things first, there is a great femininity dealing with you. Do you feel what I'm saying? Because Cancer is a very feminine sign. Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? And then Virgo is the maiden in astrology. It is always depicted as a female, right? Virgo is the feminine expression of Mercury, the planet of the mind and intellect. So the sextile that's produced here is between one's grounded and analytical abilities to be practical, and operate by plans, rules, laws, whatever, and also one's emotional needs for to take care of and be taken care of. So the moon, it ultimately deals with one's innate resources, but it's more like your emotional resources from the perspective of throughout life, right? You have been building a emotional identity, an intellectual identity, right? A spiritual identity, etc. And so the moon is like your emotional identity, and that's what I mean by resources. It shows how you react and respond to the world, you feel me? And it also helps us understand where in life and what it is that you need to get into in order for you to emotionally nourish yourself. And so with your moon being in Cancer, this indicates whenever you are nurturing and taking care of, even if it's another person, you are benefiting yourself at a soul level. So Cancer is a sign that deals with the emotions. It is the most personal of the water signs. Cancer's key phrase is "I feel," you feel what I'm saying? And they're all about feelings. So it's of great importance as a Cancer moon to develop your emotional IQ, because this is also a sign that's subjected to bipolarism. The Cancer energy can be explained in one word as fluctuation, if what I'm saying, moodiness, so it's important to start to first and foremost understand that emotions are energy, you feel me? Energy in motion, you may have heard. And it's important for you to learn how to channel your emotional energies constructively. And so your emotions have a great deal to do with you personally, your personal life, you feel what I'm saying? It's like our emotions, according to your birth chart and who you are, can be directed towards your career life, your family, your relationships, But for you, it's like your moon is in the first house, the house of the self. So it's an indication of experiencing tremendous amounts of taking things personally. If what I'm saying, you're a pretty sensitive, you know, individual, you know, and that's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing also, for the simple fact that you know, the second of the 4 agreements, right, is don't take anything personally. And I don't know if you've heard of the 4 agreements. You might have, you might not have, but I would recommend you learning about that as well. That'd be one great thing for you to study, right? With your sun being in the 3rd house, you are a student at heart. You're very curious. You love to learn and understand. You're very analytical, being a Virgo, right? You have 100 questions. You have more questions than the world can probably give answers to, type energy, you know. Because Virgo is a very analytical sign. You know, they are the ones who want to understand not just why things are the way they are, but how they are the way they are. You know, so it's like Gemini deals with why this, why that. Virgo deals with how. You know, they're very skeptical, and because of this, Virgos can be more inclined towards operating in the material world. Also, of course, because they're an Earth sign, right? They're very tuned in and tapped into quote unquote the matrix, you know, working a 9 to 5, making sure that they got their money right, making sure that, you know, they're stable financially. Resources are of great importance, right? Virgo is the sign that deals with harvest. It is the harvest sign. So Virgos need to ensure that they have harvest. Now, the harvest sign is also the sign of labor. It's the labor sign, right? September 1st or 2nd is coming up, and that's Labor Day. Coincidentally, although there are no coincidences, Labor Day is held within Virgo season, right? Virgo season, because Virgo is the sign of labor. So it's of great importance to learn how to channel your laborious energies constructively, if what I'm saying. The earth signs in general, they have a tremendous ability to apply themselves practically and get things done and work and you know, bear like bread and bear fruits for their sweat. You feel what I'm saying? Sow what they reap. You feel what I'm saying? And so as a Virgo, it's important for you to understand your ability to service employees even, and your ability to bring tremendous amounts of helpful energy to the workplace, you know. And in a sense, focusing on building your life around serving and helping others. And so you also have it's in the 3rd house, right? So this can be an indication of like maybe doing something that engages the mind, you know, jobs, work that deal with maybe writing, reading. You feel what I'm saying? This is also the house of transportation. So there can be a possibility of you working with transportations, local transport, public transportation. You feel what I'm saying? Transporting people, transporting goods, services, even whatever it may be. And so it's also interesting because the 3rd house is the house that deals with the mind and deals with your thinking mind. You feel what I'm saying? But this is more like the house of communication. So this house, the 3rd house, it deals with your siblings, because it's the 1st house of association. And the first people you associate with typically are your siblings, or if you don't have siblings, then it's your immediate environment, right? Which engages and deals with like the preschoolers, right? Your friends from school when you were a child, right? Because these are all 3rd house things. The playground that was across the street from where you were being raised. Just the kids in your neighborhood, that's all 3rd house. With you having that 3rd house popping, you are pretty extroverted. It's interesting I say that. There is an extroverted introversion type energy where it's like you are probably out and about, but you may be more so of like the quiet sort that kind of sits back and observes, right? And absorbs information, analyzes information, breaks things down. So it's like you see what's going on, you have an idea of what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? And you're like the type of friend who has like good advice to give, you know. And so also between like the sun and the moon aspecting each other, this also indicates you being a type of person that people like being around, because there is a justness, a fairness, and an equality about the way you conduct your affairs where it's like you don't just want for yourself to benefit and for you to empty another cup, but it's like when someone's giving you something, you like to typically give it in return, right? It's the nurturing aspect of you that wants to take care of, but it's also the Virgo aspect of you that wants to serve and help and be useful, right? Virgos love to be useful. They love to be useful, but they get rubbed the wrong way when they're used. But anyways, yeah, that pretty much concludes this mini reading I've done for you. Also, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to this YouTube you're watching this from, because it is my personal YouTube and I would highly appreciate it. But yeah, most definitely let me get some feedback from you, and if you know anyone who's interested in a reading, even if it's just a free mini reading like I've done for you, I would love for you to send them my way. Maybe you can make like a post or something for me. I would appreciate it. But anyways, peace, namaste, have a beautiful blessed night.